My grandpa had just passed away, and our whole family was still grieving when the HOA pounced. He'd owned a big spread of farmland for decades, land that had never fallen under their control. But the moment his funeral ended, we got a letter on official-looking HOA stationery. Failure to maintain property. Immediate foreclosure proceedings to be initiated. HOA will assume possession of the land. I thought it had to be some kind of cruel mistake. But then the so-called HOA president, Karen herself, showed up at our gate with her little entourage of board members, all smug as could be. "Your grandfather left debts," she said, waving a stack of papers in my face. "Since you can't pay, the HOA will be seizing this farm. Consider this our property now." I could feel my blood boiling. Grandpa had spent his entire life keeping this farm running, and now these snakes thought they could swoop in and claim it? My cousin muttered, "They can't do this, right?" I smiled coldly. Oh, they picked the wrong family to mess with, because what Karen didn't know, and what I hadn't bothered to advertise, was that I'm the top litigator for the state. I've crushed corporations, fought shady land deals, and spent my career dismantling fraud. And now this HOA thought they could just take my family's farm? "Karen," I said, leaning on the gate, "you're trespassing. You have no jurisdiction here. This property isn't under your HOA." She laughed in my face. "That's what you think. We've already filed the paperwork. By next month, this land is ours." I didn't even argue. I just told her, "Then I'll see you in court." The smugness on her face faltered for the first time. And oh, did we go to court. I filed motions so fast it made their heads spin. Fraud, harassment, attempted unlawful seizure of property, abuse of authority, even elder exploitation since they started targeting my grandpa before he passed. The judge didn't even need a day to see through their sham. "Ms. Karen," the judge said, peering over his glasses, "you and your HOA have absolutely no claim to this land. In fact, you've committed serious legal violations." Karen sputtered, her face turning red. But the board voted. We're the HO. We make the rules." The courtroom erupted in laughter. The judge slammed his gavel and barked, "The law makes the rules, not you." He dismissed their claim with prejudice, meaning they couldn't ever try it again. But that wasn't the end. I filed a countersuit for damages. The HOA ended up owing our family 6 figures for legal fees, harassment, and emotional distress. When the sheriff came to serve the papers, Karen nearly fainted. She had to stand there, listening as the deputy explained that not only was her seizure invalid, but she personally could be held liable for fraud. Word spread through the town fast. The mighty HOA president, once strutting around with her clipboard and barking fines at everyone, was suddenly reduced to a joke. She tried to cling to her position, but the other board members bailed when they realized she had cost them thousands. By the end of the year, Karen was ousted completely. No title, no power, just another bitter neighbor peeking through her blinds. As for the farm, we decided to honor Grandpa's memory by keeping it alive. We expanded the crops, fixed up the barn, and even opened a small farmer's market on the weekends. Neighbors who'd been bullied by Karen for years came by to shop and share their stories. And the best part? Every time Karen drove by in her beat-up SUV, she had to see our family's name proudly displayed on a brand-new farm sign, owned and protected by our family name, forever. Grandpa always told me, "Stand your ground, son. Never let bullies push you off what's yours." I think he would have been proud to see how I handled Karen. She thought she could prey on our grief. Instead, she lost everything while we came out stronger than ever.